This sode would not be possible without the support of our listeners, patrons, and sponsors. If you'd like to learn more about supporting the 3-Bit Gamer Show, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/3BG. And a huge thanks goes out to our boss-level patrons, Christopher and Patrick.
Okay, Peterson, it's your turn to roll.
Wait, I'm not ready yet.
Hey, I want to go home, man. Let's finish this stupid game.
Yeah, but if we finish it, all the fun stops.
I'm sorry, did you just say fun?
Come on, it's kind of fun.
Peterson, since you found this game and made us start playing it with you, we've had a plague, an earthquake, a snowstorm, and now everyone in the country is quarantined in their houses for the foreseeable future. What about this is fun to you?
I don't know. The earthquake?
You've just logged into the 3-Bit Gamer Show. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And Danny.
And we're here for 6 more months.
Newsflash just came in. We are not allowed to leave our current location, so we are recording for the next 2 weeks.
You're
straight.
Welcome. Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. All right, our news this week, as with every week, is brought to you by Crave Cookies.
What is our cookie of the week this week?
Crave Cookies. I'm actually looking it up. I'm pretty sure Crave
Do
Cookies...
they have ingredients?
First of all, I love that. Okay, so this is the funniest Crave story. You guys get a Crave story.
Oh.
I got a text from Trent. People are mid-hoarding right now. In Utah, apparently our hoarding rate is like 6 times the national average.
Or the natural
insane
average.
And the national yeah, it's crazy. People are just hoarding shit like just absolutely wild.
And it's different stuff all the time, mind you.
always.
I've been to the store twice this week. First time, I mean, it was the normal stuff. There was no canned goods.
Tuna
Cereal
was
was
gone,
out.
yeah.
Tuna. Like some specific beans.
I gotta get that mercury.
Okay, but
I need
but
it.
Last time I went, I just went because I needed a couple ingredients. I knew I could get. Potatoes were gone. Like all the potatoes were gone.
Yeah.
All the chicken was gone. Not all the meat. Just the chicken. And all the bananas.
All right, well, let me
I don't understand what's happening.
Trent, as the proprietor of Crave Cookies, is standing in line at one of these. I think he was at Walmart or something, and people have carts full of canned goods and
Bottled
fucking
water.
toilet paper and shit. And Trent has a cart all the way full of every single mint Oreo in the entire store.
Everyone's looking at him like he's a psychopath.
I just need, dude, look, you guys are hoarding what's important to you. I'm hoarding what's important to me. Fucking mint Oreo.
No, some Utah mom was like on her phone like, wait, are we supposed to be doing mint Oreos now?
What's
She
in them
runs
that
to
cures
Smith's.
coronavirus?
She runs to Smith's and starts buying out all their mint Oreos.
She's like, I got a text from my mommy club.
This is a thing now.
This is what we're doing. We're hoarding mint Oreos.
Trent started it. If you can't find mint Oreos, it's because of Trent.
So they have obviously the grasshopper, which is their Oreo. It's a vanilla base stuffed with Oreo crumbles, and of course the mint Oreo at the center. Which, by the way, folks, these are hard to come by.
This is the only place you can get mint
cures
Oreos.
coronavirus. Period. Stamp it. Get your grasshopper at Crave or die from coronavirus. You're welcome, Trent. This is what you're paying us for. Crave Cookies, cravecookies.com. They're in Midvale, Utah. Obviously, they are coronavirus compliant. They're doing touch-free card reading. They have a drive-through, which, by the way, other cookie stores here in Utah don't have drive-thrus, but Crave does. Mm-hmm. And they have delivery with all the classic delivery options. I think DoorDash and a couple more. So check out Crave Cookies, cravecookies.com. Now, we have some news.
Is there anything in the news these days?
I just put on the doc I deleted this from my own notes, but apparently the first bullet point is everything is awful, ?
It is rough.
It's really bad right
so
now.
let's start with something positive. Gabe Newell, the founder of Valve Software, that you might know. They are the geniuses behind Steam, Half-Life, Dota 2, and Counter-Strike Go.
Plants vs.
I just
Zombies.
covered like 90% of people that play video games, I think. Gabe Newell is notorious for being very J.D. Salinger, let's say. He's very quiet. He's very reserved. I think a lot of people at Valve are that way, where they just kind of keep to themselves on a lot of stuff, and they don't do a lot of interviews. They don't talk a lot in public, so this was very notable.
Don't let him out very often.
He did an interview with IGN's Ryan McCaffrey, and I watched it all, and guys, I was like, oh, I'll watch the interview and talk about it on the show. I watched the interview for 5 minutes. I was like, everyone that listens to this podcast has to watch this. It's fascinating. Like, if you played PC games, if you played Half-Life games, if you're interested in VR or AR or literally anything video game related, you have to watch this interview. Gabe Newell is, I mean, you have respect for him because he's a genius, right? He wrote a lot of the original Windows software before he founded Valve, just because he liked playing video games so much. He's like, fuck this, I'm not gonna make Windows anymore.
And they really took over the online, the digital game purchase market, right? They were really the only player for a long time. There were other people in it, but nobody near the size.
And he talks about that a lot. He talks about why they did that in the first place. He talks about that was because he wanted to eliminate as many middlemen as possible and get down. He's like, I want as few layers of separation between us and the consumer as possible. I want us to be basically that. I mean, they're selling direct. If they ever release, Half-Life Alyx will be on their own store, sold directly to their consumers. There will be no middlemen, and that was like the whole point of it. But so he talks about a lot of stuff. It's about a 30-minute interview, and it's fascinating. And you can kind of tell the interviewer is so nervous. He's just like so on edge, and he's like dorky. Ryan McCaffrey, by the way, I know that dude's name because when I was writing freelance way back in the day, like 2012.
Here's a flex. Here we go.
I was. Oh no, it's a non-flex.
Oh, we're best friends.
Because I reached out to him because I wanted to do reviews for IGN and I never could, but I knew he was the reviews editor. So what I'm getting at is this guy has been at IGN for like a decade. He's been in this industry for a long time. It's not like some newcomer YouTuber they hired to interview Gabe Newell. This is a dude with some chops, and he seemed so nervous. Like, hi, this is the
your
one
shot
we will get with Gabe for the next 20 years. I cannot fuck this up. And you could just read it on his body language. He's like, oh, I have to ask this. Because there are questions in this interview that he has asked, that he's asking Gabe, that people have been asking for decades. By the way, I just, kind of went through how he's really hard to get in touch with. They don't do a lot of press interviews. What he does at the end of this interview, he's like, here's my email, which he's been notorious for giving out. It's Gaben, Gaben at valvesoftware.com. He's been giving it out for decades. And he's like, yeah, email me. Because, again, he doesn't even want press between him and his fans. Like, Gabe Newell is so awesome.
Wow.
I've gotten it. I've always known it's like a meme. Like, it's Gaben, the Holy Lord Gaben. And I'm like, haha, it's like Mike Morhaime, right? It's just like these figures that have been venerated and lifted to like deity status. But after watching this, I'm like, I guess he's my god now. I guess Gabe Newell is my god now.
And I will write him once a week. I will write him an email.
Just tell him what I did that week because I have to report in. That's how I pray now. I email Gabe Newell. I don't know.
Wait, is that what he wants?
I guess.
You have to do it if that's what he wants.
I'll tell you at the interview. It's obviously about Half-Life Alyx, which is the new VR Half-Life that's coming out. And it's just like we talked about and just like we predicted, is that they're super nervous about it. Gabe said, this is a direct quote, the people are terrified, the people that are working on it. Some of them got into the industry because they played Half-Life. So the programmers, the people that are working on Half-Life Alyx are like way stressed out because they're working on the next iteration of a property that literally encouraged them to get into the industry in the first place. And then he talks about everyone at Valve, including himself, just loves their jobs. They're like, we're doing this not like we have like an ungodly amount of money, but that's not why we're doing this. And it was really fascinating because a lot of the questions were kind of money related and stuff. And then one of the really interesting things I have to say is he says, this is kind of in the middle of the interview. This is why you've got to watch it. He says, we're way closer to the Matrix than people realize. He's talking about VR. He's talking about AR. He's talking about like your cerebral cortex and hacking human brains. He's like, yeah, creating an interface with a human brain to make it, this part of the brain is way easier than teaching the brain to feel cold. He's like, telling the brain to feel cold is going to be a real hard problem. Whereas just beaming VR into your brain is like, he's like, yeah, we got a pretty good interface there. He's talking about a human brain as an interface. You've got to watch this interview,
as
you guys.
Interface?
So I'll post it. And then finally what he says,
Danny, you're going to be making art for the human brain.
Oh,
mind
no.
you.
No pressure, Danny.
Directly into the brain. Don't mess it up.
That's how it is.
Human brains don't like me.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about humans that I really mess up with.
I can't even get my
Their
own
brains.
I can't even get my own brain to like me. What do I do about this?
Exactly. My own brain is my enemy.
Yeah, fuck.
Can't even trust her.
So it's like I think the one thing is what we talked about on this podcast a couple months ago when we first talked about Half-Life Alyx. He says Half-Life games are supposed to solve interesting problems, and that's why they haven't made a Half-Life 3, because there were no interesting problems for them to solve. And so that was a big thing that he talks about, is that this has been, they obviously talk about the build up to it, how it's a big important thing. And so yeah, it's news. When Gabe Newell opens his mouth in front of a camera, it's news.
Yep.
So we'll post that interview on our social media, and we'll post it on Discord and stuff, so you guys can check it out. But you absolutely have to watch that Half-Life Alyx clip. It's dope. And
This is just a funny, quick story.
this is during the press briefing.
Dude,
This is a White House press briefing for coronavirus, which we're doing daily, I guess, now.
this is all we talk about or think about. At work, at home, everywhere. This is all I talk about now.
Everyone's like, do you want to talk about Donald Trump constantly every day of your life? And I'm like, not really. They're like, how about if it's Donald Trump and a virus? I'm like, I feel like we're getting farther away from where I want to be, which is neither of those things ever. But that's all we ever talk about. So it's at one of these press briefings, and this woman who just seems like a mom that's just trying her best stands up, and this is what she says. This is what she says.
Again, I'm going to call on that generation that's part of that group that brought us innovation, particularly throughout all of their ability to look around corners and skip through games. I always went level by level. I didn't realize that you could go from level 3 to level 7. That's what they've taught us. They look for things that we don't see. We need them to be healthy.
Okay, so she is talking. Her whole point is, I get what the point she's making.
Yeah,
because she's a sweetheart, and she's like, we just want our young people.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, she sounds like my mom. She's doing her best. She's trying to understand video games, and it's the sweetest thing. And she's like, we need young people to stay healthy and to stay, active, or to stay, kind of out of the way of this virus, because you guys are the generation that's intimidatingly smart. And that's her whole point. But she's like, her brain, you can see, is just trying to grab, like, what's something impressive that kids are doing? And you can tell that one of her grandkids
to her grandson 2 days ago,
showing her a speed running video of Mario 3 on YouTube, and she's like, "Holy shit! These kids are so fucking smart. What the hell?
How did they figure this out?
They can't die from a virus. They're the only ones that can fix the damn thing." I just love this, that she is
so good.
Praising young people, and she's like, what are young people doing that's impressive? And her
speedrunning video games.
Speedrunning video games. You can get from level 3 to level 7, and you should see her face. We'll post this video too.
It's so good.
It's buried in an hour of garbage you shouldn't watch, but there's a cute little clip, and she's like, I just went level by level, and you could see the surprise in her eyes as she's saying it, like,
Aww.
That's amazing. Kids are amazing these days. So, yeah, you speedrunners out there, you have to cure coronavirus.
Stay at home, because you're the cure.
Stay at home and stay safe. And apparently, this is the only news we've got. So, 2 coronavirus things. First, concurrent Steam users. Steam is setting records all over the place because
which is
obviously
crazy.
I know.
Now they have competition finally.
Yeah, but
right?
they're like, no. The thing is yeah.
Oh, sorry, I did air quotes.
Air quotes competition.
Now they have competition.
Yeah, theoretically they have competition, but Steam has set a new concurrent user record at 19,340,762. So 19 million people were playing Steam at the same time, which is pretty incredible.
I was probably
considering
one of them.
I was probably one of them.
Yeah, we
too.
were all probably one of them because that's all we do anymore is just boot Steam and see who's online. And then the follow up to this is a story in the Hollywood Reporter that gaming usage is up 75% amid coronavirus outbreak.
You've seen you've obviously if
This
you've
is
been
according to
paying attention,
Verizon.
The stock market has been doing terrible, but a lot of the stories I've been seeing have been saying how amidst this like horrible market, video game stocks have been fairly immune and they've been doing well
Because video games themselves are immune. I have a friend. You remember Hamill?
Yeah.
Hamill works for Treyarch. Oh, God, I hope I don't get you fired, Hamill. They're work from home right now. Picked up all their shit, took it
everyone
home.
is.
And, that's the thing is the video game industry is so insulated against this particular type of problem.
Right.
Look, man, if the Yellowstone volcano goes off, I can't say anything, right?
When it goes off next week.
It's going to go off this weekend to keep the pace
that's
of this
true.
fucking awful week. But yeah, if that goes off, whatever. But with this coronavirus, people are used to staying home that play video games. They buy their purchases digitally and they download them. They never have to leave. And the people making their games now that they're all work from home are making them all remotely without having any stoppage or slowage. And that's what Hamill said when he texted me. He's like, it's going really well. It's all good. Getting a lot done so far. That's how he reported it to me. So that's so
I'm going to
neat.
drive to work and see my stupid coworkers.
Oh, you didn't say that? He didn't say that?
My stupid bosses breathing over my shoulder all day.
But yeah, I think that it's really cool, and I think the video game industry is going to come out of this stronger.
We've actually had this talk. Not only has my studio moved to online, but so did my university. So
and it wasn't that hard, right?
It was awful. I had to move all of my stuff out 2 months early. I don't get to walk now.
Because you were about to graduate.
I don't get to walk now.
Yeah.
Commencement is canceled until further notice. I'm gonna get my master's degree mailed to me. Probably it sucks.
Oh, that is fucking bleak.
Oh, I definitely cried in my friend's cars. It felt like we got fired, really. But we've also had 3 meetings this week over Discord, and we're getting just as much done. We're still going. It's still going to ship.
It still works, right?
It still works. It just works, but lonely.
Yeah, sad works. Coronavirus.
I am getting
works.
a lot done, though, because I don't have, interruptions.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
We even have, people, because, when there's people at work, you'll just want to talk to people sometimes. And sometimes my conversations with coworkers end up lasting 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, geez, I haven't done anything.
The problem is now I get all my work done by 11, and I just have 6 hours to be sad.
And just sit on Steam.
Stare at the ceiling, stare at Steam.
Stare at my sadness. I have a sadness mirror so I can look at myself.
Wait, you shouldn't do that. That is, I'm going to write
That's what
that
my
down.
therapist said to do.
Sadness mirror?
Just
Sadness
look at the mirror and be like, look how sad I look. He gets a dry erase marker and draws a frown face on the mirror. So you get
sadder, I say to myself quietly.
Sad eyebrows on it. Puts his face right there where it lines up.
Teardrops. That's me. I recognize myself
You're
in
there,
my
but
sad
draw how
mirror.
you feel.
All right, and then our final bit of news is, of course, our final bit of coronavirus news. The headline in Vice is GameStop instructs employees to ignore law enforcement and not shut down.
They're calling themselves essential. What is it called? Because they
Services?
said, don't shut down unless you're an essential service. And they're saying that's GameStop.
The police, f them. That's actually what what the email that GameStop sent out said.
No, it's
While GameStop is best known as a provider of gaming and home entertainment services, we also offer a wide array of products and devices that are important to facilitate remote work, distance learning, and virtual connectivity. As millions of Americans face unprecedented challenges adapting to virtual learning, working, and interaction, the police, f them. That was their whole statement.
So here's the thing that kills me about this. This is terrifying to them. They need Animal Crossing and Doom because people are going to buy those. They need that.
Yeah.
Or they're going to go out of business so much faster than they had planned on.
Dude, it's really like dragging your body across the finish line knowing you're gonna die. You're like, I finished, I sold Animal Crossing, I sold Doom.
Yes.
Now I'm fucking dead, though.
This is their board, though. Like, seriously, trying to justify in their head why they are essential. And that's what they call themselves, essential. And they're, I mean, come on. And anything we can buy at your store, we can order online somehow.
Also, if I need to do remote work and video conferencing, literally the last place on earth I'm going to is GameStop.
I'd rather go to
Radio
Shack.
Target.
If those still exist. Target, yeah.
Like, Radio Shack is above GameStop in that hierarchy, and Radio Shack went bankrupt in like 2013, and I'd still look for a Radio Shack first. So, way to go, man.
Gotta love it.
The last quote from this article says, "Pandemic or not, GameStop appears committed to staying open as long as possible. Quote, I'm picking up my Animal Crossing tomorrow," said another employee, "and leaving my keys."
Oh my gosh.
Even the employees are sticking around for Animal Crossing.
You have to.
They staggered. Well, GameStop is releasing Doom a day early so they don't have the Doom crowds and the Animal Crossing crowds together. And I'm like, guys, you are real heroes in this crisis. Releasing a game early and separating crowds of fan bases. I don't know if anyone's done anything braver than GameStop's corporate board. But
it's like GameStop.
I hope you are given some sort of
doctors,
award because you are
nurses.
Just without you, where would we be? Yeah.
Oh man, that's good. Good luck, GameStop.
Good luck.
Kudos, I'm yours.
All right, kudos is our positivity segment. Peterson, you got something positive for us?
Yeah, so I saw this story and I thought it was super cool and interesting. So there's a lot of countries out there where they don't have freedom and access of certain information, where there are things, websites and books and newspapers and magazines and stuff that are banned in these countries, right? And as journalists in these countries, and just free-minded people, they don't have access to them. They can't access them legally. Well, one thing that I don't even know who made this. Who made this?
Just some Minecraft modder. It's a Minecraft mod.
So they made a Minecraft mod, and it's called the Uncensored Library. Have you heard about this, Danny?
I haven't, actually.
So cool.
It's so in Minecraft, you can, they made this cool, amazing. I'm trying to pull it up. They made this amazing library in Minecraft, giant building that you can go into on the server, and you can go in there and just read all of these articles and read all these books and read all these things that are uncensored.
So, Peterson,
in Minecraft.
Break this down for me as someone who's not familiar with Minecraft. So Minecraft, from my understanding, is kind of open world Lego game where you can just build with blocks and Legos and you can break and deconstruct them and build whatever crazy nonsense you want. It also allows you to, correct me if I'm mistaken, upload files, right? Like image files. Is that how this is done? How is this done?
Yeah, so I imagine it's something like that. I was trying to find out.
You can read these literally on the walls of a building. So you walk into this library, and it's literally these articles, these whatever they're trying to get out there, these news pieces are on the walls themselves. And so like the copy isn't in the game necessarily as much as it is.
It's the game itself, essentially.
Right, which is much harder to censor. That's being the idea, other than them just censoring Minecraft in general, which is kind of... Which you got to worry about.
Which would be hard to do.
Right.
But there you can create. So Minecraft is very open for modding. You go on YouTube and there's a million mods and games that people create themselves. In fact, my kids just watch those videos nonstop. And so you can put words all over the world if you know how to do it. Right? Okay. And so because that exists, like in the base game, there are signs. You can put up a sign and then type whatever you want on the sign.
Oh, okay.
So they're taking that essentially and applying it to wherever. And so a lot of these mods that people will make a game, and there'll be like a would you rather mod, and you have to pick one, like go through this store if you'd rather do this, and then there's like a penalty or something like that. you can just, I mean, it's very open, the code for it, so they can do that type of stuff.
I feel like once people are technologically literate enough, it is extremely difficult to censor them.
Yep.
The only reason that like China gets away with it is because so much of their population is rural and stuff. But as they have moved more and more and taught more and more people how to use technology, they've, people in China are using VPNs. People in China are using different Tor servers and getting into places of the internet they're not supposed to. Right. And I feel like that this is just one more sign of that.
Yeah, so it says, this is what it says about it. It's a virtual hub housing a collection of otherwise inaccessible journalism from all over the world with specific sections devoted to Russia, Egypt, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, and Vietnam.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I just thought it was like what an innovative way to get around essentially censorship, the blocking of information, which, come on, guys. 2020, you're not going to be able to block information.
No.
You can try your hardest, but you're not going to do it.
I mean, if Saudi Arabia ends up murdering a Minecraft modder, that would be the most 2020 fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. I'd be like, I wouldn't even blink. I'd be like,
yeah.
Guys, it wouldn't
shouldn't have fucked with Saudi Arabia either.
It wouldn't even
cut
make
you up
the
with a
news
bone saw,
cycle.
sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, that wouldn't even be headline news. They'd be like, yeah, it's like page B6.
On Kotaku, you'd find
buried in the sports page. Fucking who cares anymore? I don't know.
So yeah, but the Uncensored Library, kudos to that and the community that created it. Again, it's just a really clever way to get information out there to the public who wants that information.
Yeah.
You want information? Log into Minecraft.
That is
hop in the server, walk
the
into
bleak
this
universe
gigantic building, and go read it on the wall.
It's tight. And then my kudos, I think I already talked about it a little bit, but you guys got to know that Gabe Newell interview. It's the best 30 minutes you'll spend. Kind of gives you a look into how they are thinking in Valve, which is really cool because you rarely get looks into how they think at Valve. The guy's awesome. He just laughs at like a lot of these questions that they would ask any other, like an Activision executive who would be like, "Oh, I have a prepared response about my quarterly profit earnings," and Gabe Newell just fucking laughs that stuff off. He's like, "Money."
Yeah, because they can.
I was like, I do this shit because we like it. It's fun. Quarterly profits. He was like, the interviewer asks him like, and I understood like the tone of the question was just basically like, does it even matter if Alex does well, if Half-Life Alex does well? And Gabe Newell responds, he's like, absolutely it matters. And it's not because of financial things. It's not because of quarterly earnings. It's because, as he's expressed throughout the whole interview and his whole career, is he is obsessed with his players. He's obsessed with the people that are playing the game. And it's just like, I don't know. I can relate to it. Like,
yeah.
we have a lot of listeners, but if one of you guys reaches out to us and you're like, I was slightly disappointed with this one thing, it wrecks me. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I will never do that again.
My apologies.
I feel terrible. My bad. And we don't do it because we're raking in dough here. We do it because we love it. And to see somebody at the pinnacle of the gaming industry speaking for that in that same way was so encouraging, and so it's just so cool. So yeah, check out that interview, and like I said, we'll post it all over the place. So Danny, do you have any kudos for us?
So this one might be a little bit of old news, but I have a kudos for Discord.
Oh, it's the best.
It's so good right now. They upped their limit of how many people can be in a call, and that is saving my ass right now.
Yeah.
For free, because you can do paid Discord accounts that like all this blah, blah, blah.
Right, but essentially with everything moving online, including our entire game development cycle, we're basically on Discord all the time now. Like, so cool. Constantly. So their whole setup is where I want to throw my kudos, because I got some excellent equipment from the 1000 Dreams fund last year. I'm using all that equipment. I already gave them a huge thank you for that, because now I'm actually using it so much.
Right.
And just the fact that they're making streaming more accessible right now via Discord and everything like that. It's a great time to be a streamer. It is such a good time to be a streamer. If you want to try streaming, now is when you try it. Now is the perfect time to try it.
And if you guys do stream, you can stream using Discord, you can stream using Twitch, obviously all the classic things. But if you guys are streamers that are listeners, let us know. Drop it into our 3-Bit Gamer Show Discord, which if you are looking for the link, you can find us on Facebook or Twitter and we'll send it to you. But We would love that. If our streamers in our community want to share their streams and get people in. This is we were just talking about it. The three of us sitting here, we just like yammered for like 30 minutes before the show because we're so happy to just like have people around us and like have. And I didn't realize until now, like the impact of like just having a conversation or chatting with people. So streamers, like you guys, get us through this. So let us know. Drop it in our Discord. We'd love to share that and the community. I'm sure a lot of our listeners would like to watch your streams. So yeah, be sure to share that. Next up, we have some content, some reviews, some chit chat.
We've been playing some games.
We've been playing some games.
Sure have.
Big surprise.
Sitting around playing games all day.
And Danny, you have been playing one of the two biggest releases of the year, Animal Crossing.
I have. I started last night, and basically right when they announced that it was ready to download, I've been playing till 4 or 5 in the morning.
Like it was any normal Animal Crossing player.
It's
seriously.
been great so far. The community just on Twitter has already just blown up with people coming up with funny names for their islands. A lot of people are kind of going like Jonestown, Roanoke, like stuff like that.
Fitting,
yeah,
yes.
My island is named Capri Sun.
Oh,
Capri Sun.
It's Kool-Aid adjacent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just named it that because I was thinking of putting rum in fun little packets.
Oh. Not a Jonestown reference.
Could be, but
now it is.
Great.
They probably would have been way more enthusiastic.
Possibly, but my
at least
villagers...
the kids.
Yeah, right?
My villagers are extremely chill. One of them doesn't even want to talk to me anymore because I talk to them too much. It's been really fun. I walked up to her one too many times and she's like, "You again?" I was like, "I'm so sorry."
Okay, wait.
That just wrecked me emotionally. I'm so fucking sorry.
You were my only interaction today.
Yeah.
Even the computers I'm talking to want nothing to do with me.
Okay, so wait.
Oh, no.
I need to take a step back.
Yeah.
I have never played Animal Crossing. In fact, when I first heard of Animal Crossing, and I'm embarrassed to say it wasn't that long ago.
It's okay.
I thought it was like, I was like, what's the big deal? I thought it was like Crossy Road, the app where you're like a frog, like Frogger.
Oh, you thought it was Frogger.
Crossing, yeah.
That is tight.
And so
that is tight.
And then I started playing, Smash Brothers, and there's Animal Crossing characters in there, and I'm like, wait, what is this? And then I started figuring out. But that's my question. What is this? What is Animal Crossing?
I also would like to know that.
I don't know what it is.
Animal Crossing is very similar to Stardew Valley in the sense that it is a very relaxation-centered game where you are building a community.
Low stress.
Yeah, like fun little animals. You farm, you fish, you catch bugs, you sell it back to a rat bastard tanuki named Tom Nook.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, so he puts you in debt like on day one. And you have to pay him back.
So he's American.
Yeah, he's all about capitalism.
Fucking tight.
Yeah.
You're born in debt. What, you don't like capitalism?
You're born and you're like, well, here's $30,000 debt.
Well,
this is your born debt.
Well, yeah, so essentially...
That is our current country.
Thank you for coming. You
Born
owe us
debt.
$30,000.
No, that's basically what happens, though, is you show up on this island and it's all like, welcome, this is your island. You get to name it. What's your name? And then at the here's your tent.
Far.
Yeah, like, pick out where you want your tent to be. This is your home now.
Feels
Anyway,
good.
Yeah,
that'll
like
be
this
5,000 bells.
Wait.
And you're like, wait,
How many bells? I have 0 bells.
wait, what's a bell?
Literally don't know
What's
what
a
those
bell?
were until I showed up on the island, and I need to get 5,000 of them.
So they are the currency, but you get it. The nice thing is they also put in a program called Nook Miles. Everything is like Nook incorporated.
Because he's the guy. He's Walmart.
Yeah, he's Walmart.
This game sounds awesome and dystopian so far. I'm in.
But he has a program called Nook Miles, which is essentially Delta Miles, but you earn it for doing basically anything in game.
Oh my gosh.
So if you
Sweet.
get stung by wasps twice and pass out, you get Nook Miles. If you capture like this many
I can do
moths,
that.
Nook
I've
Miles.
done that.
Yeah, so really, after a couple hours, I'm already close to that debt, and I'll get a new one probably tomorrow when I build like a cabin.
Wait, he keeps giving you more debt?
He probably will because all I have is a tent right now.
Oh, so like when you upgrade, he'll be
It's
like,
your-
yeah.
It's your right.
Oh,
It's your right as an American to acquire as much debt as you want.
And essentially, as you go on in the game, more villagers will come and settle on your island. So everyone
is that the point? Are you trying to like get more people?
Yeah. You want to like set
Animals?
up a community, basically.
Okay.
So the fun thing about Animal Crossing New Horizon is that every person who loads into the game, they get to pick their island. They get 4 procedurally generated maps. They pick which one they want. And then you show up on your island with 2 random villagers. There's over 300 villagers that can show up. And you get 2 random ones, and you get like a random fruit tree that shows up on your island only. So like I got peaches as my fruit export, and then I got a fun little lion named Bud and a cat named Cat.
Guy Fieri cat.
Yeah. I'll show you pictures or post them on the Discord. These animals are so awesome. They like one of them's like a little goblin and the other one is Guy Fieri. And I'm like, yeah.
So the same.
Yeah, exact same thing. Dude, do people grind for that? Or they're like, oh, I didn't get the fruit tree I want?
A couple people have, yeah.
Okay,
so
there's like, is there an optimal build?
From what I've seen on Twitter, a lot of people want oranges. I am happy with the humble peach, but
the peach is dope.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people want oranges and they're trading for them. But the best part of Animal Crossing is that you can visit each other's islands. So in a time of social isolation, I'm going to other people's islands and I'm hitting them with my like bug catching net, and it makes me so happy.
But you can't like destroy their stuff, right?
Is that your main weapon, right? Is the bud catching?
Oh, you've got
net?
like you can get an axe for like cutting down trees. It's very like base
what happens
building.
if you hit someone with an axe?
I haven't tried it yet.
I bet you
I
can't.
have hit someone with a bug net though, and they said, "Ow, that hurt." And I was like,
I bet you can't hit them with the axe.
I felt so sad.
I bet I'd try it.
But you did it again.
Oh my god! No, I want my villagers to stay. I'm trying to build like an economy.
You were talking about...
I'm not going to take them out.
So wait, what
How do you collect their skulls to drink out of, Danny?
That's Doom Eternal.
I was mixed up.
They're releasing at the same time.
This game sounds not like any of the other ones.
When do the demons come?
Where are the demons?
No.
When do I get a shotgun?
So is there like a win condition of the game, or is it just like Stardew where it just goes forever?
It basically goes forever. The game is 1-to-1 in real time, which is cool. So it will experience seasons. It'll experience day and night. And the biggest thing I've heard about Animal Crossing and that I've kind of experienced as I've played it so far is that it's a little bit slower paced than a lot of slice of life games like this. Sometimes certain animals go to bed and you won't be able to talk to them for a few hours because they're asleep. Other times it'll take a while for flowers to grow or a tree to grow. So it's a little bit slower paced, but in a very relaxing way. Like I just ran around my island for probably like an hour and a half of my playtime last night, just pulling weeds because it was fun. I was
just pulling those weeds.
I was just terraforming my entire island to be perfect.
How big is the island? Are they big?
They're decently big.
Okay.
The suggestion is that you spread out the tents of you and your other villagers. There's a town square, but spread out, and then eventually you'll be able to hop over rivers and get to more land. But the islands are decently sized.
Can you start over?
Yeah, you can.
So one thing I heard about this game maybe a month or two ago, which made me specifically not interested in it, was that you can only have one island per Switch, which I've got 3 kids who all play it. Every game we buy, they all have their own
trigger.
game.
You're going to have to pull the trigger eventually and buy a child's Switch.
No.
Then you get your own in your bedroom, and the kids aren't allowed to touch it.
My wife will never let that happen. We have all the consoles.
And you have a child's Switch.
And she'd be like, another Switch? What do you need that for?
Oh, you don't tell her
I just get it?
You just get the Switch Lite, because that one's a little bit more child-friendly.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice and small for their tiny little hands.
She would be unable to tell the difference. She'd be like, it's a Game Boy. It's a huge
Game Boy.
Nintendo.
It's a DS Plus Max.
DS Plus.
So what I'm worried, though, is
Plus.
I'll get Animal Crossing and start an island and play it, and I'm, like, weirdly meticulous about all my stuff. And, my 6-year-old will jump in and ruin it.
I mean, plants grow back, trees grow back. A lot of it is kind of built for that family experience. Your 6-year-old would probably have their own tent, their own setup. They wouldn't really get to mess with your stuff that much, aside from maybe overfishing, but the fish come back after a couple hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to try it, because I really like Stardew.
It's so happy.
Which is what we need right now.
Yeah, like it's a very happy game. I seriously like teared up a little in the opening sequence because it was so happy. It was just like, you're on an island and you're with your friends and you can see other friends here. And I'm like, finally.
Kind of like Doom.
Yeah. Just like
Kind of
Doom.
like Doom. Yeah.
They're like the opposites of each other.
That's my favorite part. Have you seen those T-shirts they have that it says Doom Eternal in the Animal Crossing font, and then
all the
Animal
crossovers
in
the
Doom
artists
font?
have been making have been incredible.
Yeah,
because they're releasing on the same day, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And this has encouraged me actually not to pick up Animal Crossing. I'm so sorry,
It's
but
okay.
to pick up Doom Eternal because I'm like, I gotta see what it's like. You don't like it.
I don't like Doom.
Danny's playing Animal Crossing, so I'm like, I'll bite the bullet.
You'll fall on that sword for us.
I will fall on that sword, and I will just shoot my way through Doom Eternal.
Because I'm not going to play it.
Actually, I would love it if someone. Did you find out? Can I get that anywhere for less than $60?
Probably not right now. No.
If I'm dropping 60, I'm just gonna get the hard copy on PS4 then, because I might as well own it.
Might as well.
And then you can borrow it and hate it.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. Tight. All right. Danny, on the way out, is there anything else you would like to?
I mean, this is just like a really early review, but
this is kind of like
what else do you got to say?
Oh my god, the first impression rose.
What else do you have to say about Animal Crossing? Anything?
Oh, I definitely recommend picking it up right now. It is exactly the kind of game that we hoped it would be. I mean, we've seen a lot of great videos and a Nintendo Direct about it, but playing it is a completely different experience. I actually had not played an Animal Crossing game before this one.
Oh, wow.
Aside from the mobile Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which has been my addiction in isolation.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when they released Fallout Shelter like 2 weeks before Fallout 4 and all the Fallout addicts were like, yes, this will do. This will do for now.
It's essentially, yeah. So if you don't want to shell out the money right away for Animal Crossing New Horizon, try out the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp mobile game. It's basically kind of the same gameplay loop. It's just on your phone. It's free. You are just running a campsite instead of an island, but it's very fun. Either way, I think we need some happiness right now, and this has been great.
Strong
Agreed.
Definitely agree. All right, so let's do this.
Come on, pal. I don't want to hear your life story. Paw me.
You'll be sorry.
All right, we tried Monkey Paw last week, and you guys know our whole mantra is we're trying new things in 2020.
Just having fun.
Like we're trying to have a pandemic in 2020. It is
We're
not
trying.
going well. Hate that new thing. Fucking sucks. So one of the new things this is one of our it was kind of a reindeer game, but we kind of liked it a lot, so we're going to try it again. And my thing is, if we try a new thing, we have to try it again. Right away.
Let's do it again.
And then if it sucks, then we know to get out. So we're going to try Monkey Paw again. Monkey's Paw, if you guys are unfamiliar with the lore. What is this
concept?
From? What is this?
I think it's from.
It's like an old urban legend short story, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Origin. The Monkey's Paw is a supernatural short story by author W.W. Jacobs, first published in England in the collection The Lady of the Barge in 1902.
Oh my God, thank you, high school English.
Yeah. So the idea is that this guy buys this cursed monkey paw and it grants wishes, and every time it grants a wish, it curls one of its fingers. And if it grants, but all the wishes are held.
It's just
you don't want them. You don't want these wishes.
Careful.
And actually, it's kind of funny. There's a subreddit called The Monkey's Paw, where people will go post, "Here's my wish," and then everyone tries to ruin it. And so obviously, it's kind of a game, a challenge of making a wish that's hard to ruin. So this week's Monkey Paw is build your ideal quarantine game. So you've got a game, you're in quarantine, say you're immunocompromised. Is that how I say it?
Immunocompromised, yeah.
Nice, I got it all out.
Nailed it.
And you have to stay in. So you get to just build whatever game you want. You get to build it. So first of all, if you have whatever genre, whatever wish you have to say, "I wish for this."
Okay.
And then whoever has a response to that to ruin it says, "A finger curls."
Ooh, there's some theatrics.
We have some theatrics now, because that's another theme of this podcast. Is now we're super theatrical, way scripted thespians. That's our thing.
Yeah,
it's a thespian podcast now. So who's got a monkey paw? Who's got a wish? I'm so sorry, I said it wrong.
Who's got... Oh, okay, so wait. Let's start with the basics of what do we want this game...
Oh, this is the same game, right? So
Yeah.
every detail we're describing
Right.
will comprise the total game we end up.
What type of game do we want this to be? So, I'll start with this one. And I don't know what you guys had in mind, but this might totally ruin it. But I wish that this game would be a roguelike.
A finger curls. You get a roguelike game for your quarantine, but it is permadeath, and every time that you die, you lose absolutely everything, including your contacts list.
Oh, no. Oh, no. So, wait.
This is no longer a roguelike.
It's roguelike,
It's a Punisher.
It's roguelike.
but
wait.
you start over every time from pure scratch.
Oh, but you got to unlock something.
No.
No.
You get nothing.
No.
No, you unlock losing your contact list.
Yeah.
You unlock inconvenience.
Oh my gosh, it gets worse every time. So
Yeah.
you're like, you start off OP,
Yeah.
and every time you lose,
Yep.
you lose something.
Yep. So if you don't win your very first time playing this game, good luck.
By the end, you you can't jump anymore. You can only turn one direction.
Yes. Yeah. You
Left
can't
doesn't work
No,
anymore.
left doesn't work. It's just right only. Forward
You gotta
only.
do a
Hope
first-
you like walking forward.
If you want to turn left, you got to
Do a circle going right. I'm not an ambi-turner, Maury. I've never been able to turn left.
You lose stuff as you go. Every loss that compounds on itself, and you start to lose things.
Okay, I've got a wish.
Already don't like this game.
I wish that it... Because for me, you guys know I like FTL. I like these games where it's like... It's not that they're relaxing. It's just that they're not stressful because I know that I can just hit the space bar and walk
And pause it.
away. And it's not a big deal. So I wish that this game is not fast-paced.
Okay, not fast-paced. Got it. Okay, not fast-paced. Okay, so a finger curls. The game itself is not fast-paced. In fact, it is in real time.
Nope.
In real
I don't
life.
want to play this game anymore.
So you walk the pace of a normal person that would walk, but also the game doesn't stop when you log off. If you log off, your character will just stand there. If you're in an unsafe area, when you save it and log off, your character will die.
Right, and then you lose your contact list.
You come back.
And most of your abilities.
Yes.
At least one of your abilities.
The game doesn't stop just because you're not there. You're just not controlling the person anymore, the character. So, real time, game keeps going.
Ooh, I think I have a wish.
Okay, let's hear it.
I wish for none of this.
I wish that we weren't playing this game anymore.
Yeah, I already know how this is going to go bad.
Finger curls. You're still playing it. You can never stop.
You have to play this forever.
It's basically real life at this point. Like, aren't we all just playing a roguelike if you really think about
That's true. Things just get worse as time goes on.
Are you just
You
describing
lose your ability to see.
the year 2020? Because it sounds like you're just describing it happens
Wait.
in real time. You lose abilities all the fucking time, and
Is
you're
this-
sad every morning
Is
when
this
you wake
game
up.
called aging? I can't run anymore.
Peterson's knees don't work.
I can barely jump.
He can't touch his pinky and his fucking thumb. Peterson's been living this game his whole life.
I'm just tired all the time.
Just tired, you guys.
You know, your character, when it runs out of stamina, starts panting.
Yeah.
I'm starting panting.
Every fucking day. Every day it does.
Oh, God. Oh, I can't wake up today.
Better luck tomorrow. Danny, what is your wish?
I wish for this game to be a multiplayer co-op. I said co-op.
I don't
in
even
person.
need to take a break here. Because clearly, a finger curls. The only co-op partners you can choose from are from the pool of League of Legends players.
No.
Like really big League of Legends
Oh
fans.
no.
who are clearly actively trying to destroy your efforts.
What was that one guy that got banned from League of Legends?
Tyler 1. T1, my dude. T1
is always in your game.
Default on your fucking party.
This
you
got even
have
worse
to
than
play.
I thought.
Do you know who Tyler 1 is?
I just steer clear from everything League, unfortunately.
Dude.
Let me just tell you.
Dude, this guy is the worst
who
of the
you are playing with.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
And he's as bad as you think he is. So his
He
whole
looks pretty bad. Remember
his
that,
whole
like,
shtick-
person suit?
his whole
Yeah,
shtick,
no,
yeah.
he looks like he's wearing a person suit.
His whole shtick is that he's like rages and flames on people on purpose. He like tries to get people mad.
He rages at people to an extent that it's notable within the League community. So
Yeah.
imagine the level of rage you have to provide that League people are still like, whoa.
He was so bad that Riot Games banned him from their game for a long time.
And then they're like, all right, you can come back.
All right, you know what?
We love the toxicity.
The toxicity has actually met Tyler 1 levels, so you can come back now. Wow. No. Yeah, he got banned. So
That's pretty bad.
That's it? Wait, the finger curls and everyone is from League?
Dude, at this point, honestly, just having to play with T1, period, that's enough. That's enough. I'm happy with that. Look, dude, I'm not a selfish monkey. I'm a reasonable monkey paw.
So it's T1.
It's just T1. You have to play co-op all your games with T1. Who has another wish? Do you have one, Peterson? I've got one. I'm actually interested. I would like to see you guys fuck this one up.
Okay.
I wish that the music is really great.
Okay. The music is great, so it's going to be chill.
Start over.
Why? I know. I'm building off your conversation like we didn't stop.
Oh.
Right?
No one will notice now that we stopped the podcast for a minute to think and then started it up again. No one will ever be suspicious.
Okay, I'll start over. I'm going to start over.
Yeah, no, I totally believe you won't edit this part out.
I'm editing all of it. John, edit this. Please edit this later.
Please start leaving yourself more notes in the podcast. John, edit this. This is awful.
It's got to be real loud so I can see it.
You know, in fact, if you could do that while I'm talking, like I'm just going off on something like, yeah, we can cut all this. This is good to go. You can cut this. Actually, cut the last 30 seconds.
John, cut this back 30 seconds ago. I've been timing it. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'm mid-conversation.
Oh, cool. Keep going, JD. This is great content. John, this is not great content.
It's not good content. It's got to go.
It's extremely loud. Well, now I can't cut any of this.
No, absolutely not. What's your monkey curl paw?
Okay.
The paw curls.
The finger curls. And, okay, so the music is really fantastic. Every time, about once a minute, like there will be some sort of like beat that'll hit, you know, but it always sounds like a really disgusting, like boil popping with pus. Oh. So it'll be like, and then the beat will drop every time. Oh, gosh.
Okay, well, I'm not going to try to get one in this right now, but I'll tell you, don't Google popping boiled noise. Hard pass on that, folks.
Yeah, you did that? Don't do that. Just make your own popping boil noise.
I regret so much of the things I've done during this episode.
Okay, let's see. I got one. I want the...
You want? Is that what you tell
sorry.
the genie?
Hey, just in case, if I can trick him into giving me a free wish.
If we have all learned something from growing up on Aladdin, it's that if you run into a genie, you immediately try to trick that motherfucker.
Yeah, try to trick him right away.
Oh, yeah. You try to push the limits.
Be out of the bottle.
Because guess what? Yeah, that guy's been living in a fucking lantern jar for like 1,000 years. I don't think his rule set is that well defined, and I think you could kind of push and prod at it to a point where you're like, I get it wherever I want.
Yep.
That's what Jafar did. Yeah. He wasn't that clever.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, what's your wish? I mean, what's your want?
Sorry, I almost got away with it, but JD is...
No, I'm a genie who has been studying.
He's been tricked before, obviously.
Why do you think I'm in this lantern? It sucks in here.
And the whole time I've been stewing on that one a-hole that tricked me.
I'm like, what the fuck kind of rule set does he have? Like, how hard do you have to rub the lantern? Like, picking it up isn't enough rubbing? You have to rub like you're trying, like, do you have to put your fingers into it like you're rubbing dirt off? Or is it like a gentle dusting?
I just think it's like...
What are the rules?
Just gotta rub it.
Too subjective. Rubbing is not objective.
JD, just
Everyone rubs different.
I know from experience.
What is your what?
Okay, this is what happens when you go a week without human contact, folks.
This is the best. We're never leaving. We're going to be recording for 6 hours because it's the only time I felt good all week.
Okay, so I wish that the theme and the characters in the game, so like the you and the antagonists are all superheroes. So it's a superhero game. Superheroes, superpowers.
I'm thinking, like, what's the worst fucking superhero? What's the worst superpower?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. A finger curls, and all of these superheroes are basically F tier, similar to Aquaman.
Oh, so they're just like
enjoy riding dolphins.
Real lame superpower.
All of them are basically Aquaman.
You're Aquaman, and you are nowhere near.
You're in a landlocked state. You're like in Ohio.
You're in friggin' Nevada.
You're Spider-Man in Iowa. Nothing is taller than 6 feet, and you're like, the fuck do I do as Spider-Man? I guess I'm running. I'm running everywhere.
Real-time running, mind you.
Real-time running because it is so
it's
slow.
not that fast.
Yeah, no, definitely. I like that one.
Oh
okay, last one.
The setting is always in antithesis to what your character can do.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Superman,
water
Red
powers?
Sun.
Nope. Yeah, Superman, Red Sun.
Batman, you live underwater.
You're Superman, and you literally have access to none of your powers.
Yeah.
You go and you hit E or whatever, or Tab to see your character sheet, and they're all like blocked out because the sun is the wrong type of sun.
Oh, maybe you could fly to a planet with the right kind of sun. Oh, can't do that because you don't have powers.
You spend the whole time trying to figure out how to unlock your powers. Turns out it's just the sun.
You have to move technically, to a all planet. Of us are Superman. We're just living on the wrong planet.
Cool. Oh, no, just get on where's the spaceships? I'll just go to a different planet.
Nope, none of those.
We don't have spaceships that can take us to another planet.
Listen,
they're so far away.
Listen, regular man. You have been so arrogant since you showed up, and I've got to break it to you. You are just a regular fucking dude.
No, look at my character sheet, though. I can fly.
Take off the cape. You look like a jackass.
What if we all have superpowers? We just can't access them.
That's what I'm saying. We're all on the wrong planet. On other planets, we're kicking ass. Superman, he just happened to land on the right place. It's like his whole thing is predicated on Superman is just like, I'm in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
I'm going to punch stuff way hard now. Fuck, guy.
This would be the most frustrating
I want to work in journalism. Fuck, guy. What the fuck? You do anything.
Journalism?
It was dying back then.
Even journalists don't even really want to be there that bad.
No.
Danny, do you have one more wish? If not,
I think I do.
Okay, what do you wish?
I wish for this game to have a romance system a la Mass Effect.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I've got a pretty good. You got one?
I got a good one too. Yeah, do it.
So a finger curls, and there is a romance system, and you can pick people and woo them, but you will get rejected every single time.
No.
Doesn't matter if they like you or not. You're getting rejected.
And on top of that, another finger curls.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And the only people you can date are your own stalkers.
Oh, my gosh. So your fans?
Mm-hmm. Like the people that you're like in like
fan.
Stardew Valley where you're like, oh, I want nothing to do with that character. That's the only one you can
That's
date.
it. And then finally when you give in and you're like, fine, I guess because I want to date somebody and see what that does in the game. You woo them, you spend all this time, giving them the appropriate things, saying the right things. You finally get to that moment when you have the conversation option where you can be in a relationship. They shoot you down.
Right.
Every single time.
This basically describes my Dragon Age Inquisition experience.
This is me in high school.
It's too real. Oh, my God. Okay.
Is this game still called Aging? Because I have not figured out how this is opposite
Aging is
in
my
real
least
life.
favorite game. I fucking hate it, and I
Yeah.
can't stop playing it.
It's really bad.
All right, so here is your Monkey Paw. Here is your ideal quarantine game. So it's a roguelike in which you start with all of the abilities and lose one every time you die. This all happens...
Start with Superman abilities.
Yeah.
And you can't use any of them, and they just keep erasing every time you go.
Oh, yeah, I should actually... Yeah, I was going to say, when you lose your abilities every time, it doesn't super matter because all your abilities are useless in the world you live.
But you don't know that. You think you can unlock them at some point, so you're getting stressed, and you're like,
yeah, no, you hit tab.
I just can't fly
and you're like,
anymore.
this is so cool, I can fly, and then you check out of the, and you're underwater, and you're like, oh, well, when can I use my fly ability? And then it's just, never.
No.
You can't. This all happens in real time, mind you. So your character has to sleep, pee, and eat everything.
And if you log out, the character will just stand there.
Yeah, and if you need any assistance or help, it's only coming in the form of your cooperative partner, Tyler One, who he hates this game.
He's going to troll you
But he
so hard
loves-
for his fans. What's up, YouTube? I'm here with Danny.
Don't
oh,
forget to
she's going to hate this.
that like and subscribe button.
Oh my
Watch
God, I'm
this.
in hell.
Oh, she must be sleeping because her character's just standing there. Watch this.
Oh my God.
And there's incredible music in this game, which is the one saving grace of this poorly designed game. However, every time there's a drop, apparently there is a noise.
Play the song. Play the song you're doing. There we go. Oh yeah, this is like just chill.
You're like,
for a
God,
minute."
this is really nice.
Okay,
I like
I'm
the
into
music.
it.
This is like really cool, and you kind of forget about it.
Why is this happening?
So there is a boil popping noise to supplement all the music in the game, and of course, once you've gotten tired of the roguelike aspects of it, you're like, I want to explore other areas of the game. Once you get into the romance system, you find that it is just a rejection system, a high school simulator as it may be, and the only people that are interested in you are the people you are absolutely not interested in. This game sounds bleak.
10 out of 10 would play.
10 out of 10. Love the Monkey Paw. This is hilarious.
Dude, and the game is called Aging. That's it. It's just called Aging.
Aging. And everyone's like, oh, is it about aging? You're like,
I mean,
in the way that you die at the end.
loosely, I guess, like in a metaphorical sense, but no, it's not actually. You're a superhero.
You know how, like, whenever you're aging, you feel terrible?
Aging, a superhero game.
Same feeling.
It's like Benjamin Button, but
In
not.
reverse.
Oh my God.
You know how, like, when you're getting older, you feel sad and kind of broken down all the time? That's exactly what we were going for with this game.
Except you were never happy, not even at the beginning, because you couldn't use any of your abilities.
Oh, this is a Kojima game. Got it.
Perfect. Which we
Makes
haven't
sense
talked
now.
about. That guy
Sorry.
was spot on.
Makes sense now. I get it.
Yeah, no, it all makes sense. All right, our next segment, we're calling this Cabin Fever because we're obviously all losing our minds collectively. Cabin Fever is in vogue.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing, and just real talk for a second. JD and I were planning this episode, and he kind of threw some of these ideas on the dock a few days ago. And this is how bad it got for me. I feel I had no creative juices going at all. Just the lack of human interaction, I guess. I told JD, I was like, I sat here for 45 minutes trying to think of anything for this. Could not come up with a thing. My brain is just in this gooey state.
Yeah, let's watch these documentaries where David Attenborough's telling you how humans are social creatures. They're social creatures.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Yeah, whatever.
Not me.
Whatever the fuck that means. That's not me, David Attenborough. What do you know about mammals? But no, turns out
He was right.
what the fuck? Social interaction, your brain starts dying? What the hell? What is wrong with our species? That's not right. It's like when they put a gerbil in a fucking cage by itself and it just dies of sadness.
It just stops.
That is happening to 6 billion people right now. Fuck.
He was right.
It was right.
So whenever I take those like personality tests, it's like introvert, extrovert. I'm right on the line.
Me too.
And so most of the time I'm like, I go to work and I interact with people and I'm totally fine doing that. But when I get home, I want to be home and I'm done. Like I just want to be home.
Mm-hmm. It's a bar.
Now I'm in that all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not necessarily feeling like I want to go out and interact with people, but that's the thing that's missing.
The
right?
way I've always described it is I have an extrovert bar, and every morning it is full. And then I go into work and like conversations kind of lower it and like whatever. And then I have like
you're using it up.
And then I have like a conflict with somebody dude over a parking spot. And it's like and it just like eats like half of the bar.
Conflict kills it.
Conflict kills the bar. And then by the time I get home, my bar is at like 10-15%. I'm like, this is perfect. I can interact with an Uber Eats driver and I can have one phone call and I'm out. But lately it has been so overcharged constantly. I'm like, I didn't know that having this bar too full was a problem.
It's so full and it just keeps filling up. It's
and I have to drain it
place.
somewhere. I yelled at some poor girl across the street while I was walking my dog because she had.
He's looking out his window. Hey,
who are you? How are you feeling today?
Like,
I don't
is he mad at me? What's happening?
No, there's some girl, and I noticed that she had an animal on a leash, and I was like, that is 50-50, not a dog. And normal JD with his bar at 15% after work would be like, I'd go home and tell Jenna, I think that some girl was walking a cat. But you know what? Extrovert bar full JD was like, hey, are you walking a cat right now? And she, I'm sure in the same situation, was like, it is a cat. And let me tell you about walking cats. And we're yelling at each other, social distance across the street. And my extrovert bar is like slowly lowering. And I'm like, I haven't felt alive in weeks. Thank you for telling me about your cat.
Now I can play video games again.
Now I can play video games again. I don't feel rotten inside.
Okay, sorry. So, cabin fever, this is what it looks like.
Yeah. So we've got 3 questions in cabin fever, which are totally just arbitrary and random because our brains are melting. Mm-hmm. First question for all of you. What are the worst things a gamer can do during this quarantine?
Oh, mine for sure is only game too much. I feel like I've been playing too many games.
That's a good one.
To the point where I'll sit at my computer and be like, what do I want to play? I don't want to play anything. And I legitimately have so many games that I want to play.
Right.
I just don't want to boot any of them up. My brain's not working.
Yeah.
Especially playing too many single-player games. Guys, get on Discord. As Danny mentioned before,
just
get on Discord.
Yeah.
Play with some people.
Stream.
Talk to somebody. Stream.
It doesn't matter if the stream is to an empty room. Just like the concept of that webcam being another human is so helpful
and
right
you're
now.
talking.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You just have to.
Well, now you are once more joining that social contract, right? Wherein if you fart or like do something inappropriate, there's someone in the room with you. So you're like, oddly, I have to keep my shit together for a minute.
Literally.
That's been the biggest problem is that I just like do whatever I want all the time in my house. And I'm like, I need limits.
This is true because I've been working from home. And actually, I forgot to grab. So when I'm at work, a lot of my work is virtual anyways. But when I'm in the office, I've got a webcam, and we'll often turn them on for meetings because it just makes you feel more present. Mm-hmm. And you're not picking your nose and all that stuff during the
picking your nose. That's a good example,
right?
Better than farting, I guess.
I'm like constantly eating cereal now, just constantly.
Just
There's always a bowl of cereal.
There's always
in
just
my
like a
hand.
layer, like a film of sugar on my teeth because literally my diet they have frosted. Okay, so. I'm sorry, Honey Bunches of Oats, when I was growing up, were supposed to be the cereal, the healthy cereal,
that's
right?
healthy cereal.
You like felt like you were eating something healthy.
Yeah, oats.
I found out later is that oats are literally, they just take the oats and glue them together with sugar. So they are absolutely the least healthy
brown
thing.
sugar.
Any cereal you have that has clusters or bunches in the title, not great.
No.
No, tastes good though.
But now they have the ostensibly healthy cereal. They have Frosted Flakes in them now. So they've taken the only aspect of the cereal that was remotely healthy and frosted it.
Put some sugar on it.
I
What's
eat
got to taste
those
better?
3 meals a day now.
You do Honey Bunches of Oats because you can find those.
Oats. 3, yeah, exactly.
So I didn't bring my webcam in from the office. No one did, right? So no one's on their webcams, and we were talking about this today in one of my meetings, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I had to shower today just so I could feel human again."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, well, I've been like, I change. I've been wearing sweats every day, but at least it's different sweats." And I was like, "Wait, you guys been changing your clothes every day?" Because that's legit how it feels. Yeah. I feel like every day is the same day, and I just take a nap in between.
Stupid day.
Only broken up by the constant earthquakes that we're experiencing.
Thank God for earthquakes and other natural disasters.
That's how
Otherwise, this would just be one long hell
That's how
day.
I gauge my time. When did the earthquake happen? That was 3 days ago. Okay, got it.
It was 3 days ago. I don't know
days.
what day it is.
I forgot what day it was, too. Yesterday.
Today was Friday. That means nothing to me.
You sent me a message today. You're like, dude, I don't know what we're doing about the podcast. I was like, we're recording a podcast today? Oh, shit. And then I had to quickly reassort my day.
JD had to literally go fill in the doc because my brain was not functioning.
And we were.
I don't know how to explain it. I could not think of a thing to do.
No, it was just bad.
I'm glad I woke up at a time. I don't know what time it was because what
time
nothing,
is immaterial now.
Yeah, time means nothing.
Times and dates.
So I basically woke up and was like, oh, I should podcast. Right.
The one thing on my to-do list for the next week.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
Here it is. It's up.
That's the only thing I'm doing this week.
We're usually on a pretty tight schedule because of the kids in terms of like dinner and bedtime and all that stuff. I kid you not. We usually eat dinner at like 5:30ish. I kid you not. The last 2 nights I started making dinner at what I thought was the appropriate time.
It was like
7:00 p.m.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, we're about to put the kids to bed in an hour because we put them together way early. It was like, we're putting the kids, and Kelsey's like, what are we doing for dinner? The kids are all starving, and I was like, I don't know what time it is.
I don't know what anything means. We stopped wearing watches when they invented phones.
I was gonna make a roast.
Oh my God.
It was like 7 p.m.
and I was you guys like bouillabaisse because we're making it until 2 in the morning.
Yeah, you want to roast at 2. I'm going to wake you guys up. We're going to eat dinner.
You know, Pam, in some cultures, they don't start eating until 9 p.m. I have some things.
What's the worst thing you do?
This is just like a vent session now, so you can just cut all this. John, just cut all this stuff.
John, leave it.
The worst things a gamer can do during quarantine. I'm just going to bang through all these because
you got a bunch.
Mine are just jokes.
Okay.
Don't forget to mute the mic when you're throwing up. Look, man, we are all in quarantine.
Common courtesy.
We all have sicknesses and illnesses. The least we can do is mute the mic for our coughs, sneezes, and
nose blows.
Oh, especially the nose
eating
blows.
Crunchy food,
food. Just remember to mute your mics, guys. Yeah. Also, like Peterson said, don't play too long. Make sure to stand up every 24 hours or so.
Gotta get that blood flowing.
You don't want to be like one of those South Korean kids in a PC bang that dies and no one notices him.
Yeah,
just sitting upright. You don't want to do that. And then finally, this one's actually moderately practical. If you are going into quarantine and you are a gamer now, ditch all of your battery-powered peripherals. Your keyboards, your mice, your headset, your VR headset. You don't want battery-powered shit in a quarantine. You don't know how long it's going to last. You plug that shit straight into the wall,
One of these earthquakes eventually is going to put the power out. You got to save your batteries.
You got to save up on your batteries. Yep, you got to hoard those things. They're precious.
Wait, are we hoarding batteries now?
Oh shit, I got to go to the store. Batteries and mint Oreos. That's what it is this week.
Oh, I heard mint Oreos were like a thing now. I gotta go.
I don't know. I saw a guy with a grocery cart full of them, so they must be important. I don't know why. Danny, what are the worst things a gamer can do during quarantine?
So I think one of the worst things would be upending your entire setup.
Okay.
So not just because like I work from home now and we're trying to still like make a game in that situation. We've also been trying to upgrade. So I'm saying don't do this because I've been doing it. It's awful. So
from experience.
Yeah. So Amazon Prime is doing its best to keep up with everything, but I feel bad about putting more pressure on those workers and I feel bad about ordering things, but I've been ordering computer parts. Yeah. It is the worst time for me to be doing this is during a quarantine because I'm getting like new Ethernet cables and new things to try and make my gaming setup and my work setup better. And upgrading it right now is the worst possible time because now my computer setup is constantly in flux. I am an idiot for doing this. Do not be me.
Big mistake.
It was
you need your stuff up and running when quarantine starts.
Yeah.
Because you need it. You're going to need it at some point, right?
Order it in bulk and do a big like push through everything. Don't wait on everything delivering one by one or going, "Oh, I could use a new monitor now."
Yeah. Guys, we're in survival mode now. You can't have the best of the best.
No.
Just use what works until we're done and then do your upgrades.
Yeah.
If you were a U.S. Senator, you would have known to buy all those parts back in February, though. Damn it! I should have relied on insider information.
I was in a chat with someone whose power was out last night, and they were going, we both used to work at this lab, and he just goes, I bet the lab has power, and I checked my remote access, I'm like, it does. He's like, damn it.
It's like, do you think they left the door unlocked? I'm going to go in.
No, you can probably still badge in, right?
I wish they took care of our badges, so we can't anymore.
Rat bastards.
Yeah, they knew we'd go.
They literally have to lock you guys. Of all the students in all of the engineering departments
everyone else is like,
all the world,
I don't have to go in, fine.
But all the EGS,
it's like, but we
EAE
want to.
Students
we want to
like,
make
we
games.
need to get in there. All right, our next question for Cabin Fever. What are some? So this is kind of cool, and Peterson kind of touched on this. Is now that we're going to get into your games that you have in your backlog, right? Games that you have been sitting on for so long, and you're like, oh, when am I ever going to play these? How about
the time is now?
Once every 100 years, there is a sickness, an illness that is so bad.
What a time to be alive, guys!
Yeah, you get to get through your Steam backlog for the first
generation
time in any human being's life. You get to clear your Steam backlog.
I hate living in interesting times.
Dude, can we have the boring 90s back? Remember the 90s when like the most exciting shit we did was Surge? Like, oh, it's a different... Coke's making Mountain Dew now.
What?
And we're going to talk about that for 5 years.
What?
We impeached the president and 6 weeks later, everyone's like, we did what now?
Wait, what does impeach mean?
What the fuck?
Where are the peaches?
That was 3 years ago. What are you guys talking about?
Peaches are on Danny's
island. We're not talking about impeachment anymore. Impeachment was like 16 years ago. We're on a coronavirus now.
That was 3 weeks ago.
I know, right?
Definitely aged more than that in that time.
Can I have the 90s back?
You're never going to hear that again.
All right, so what are your Cabin Fever games that you're looking forward to playing, getting into? And then this is a two-part question because what are the Cabin Fever games that if this quarantine goes on for 6 months, you're going to get into? Like, there are 2 tiers of games.
It's like you've finished your...
Once you get through all those, you're like, oh, shit.
Okay, what have I really been sitting on for a long time?
What are your games that you bought because they were $2 on a Steam sale and you thought, I'd be stupid not to?
Oh my god, I feel so called out right now.
Yeah. Easy, JD.
It's like,
6 years later, guys, what did that $2 get you?
Still feel guilty about spending that money.
My Cabin Fever, my top level games, the games I will actually play before things get bleak. Kerbal Space Program, I talked about that. I started playing it. I played it for like 5-6 hours, and then I kind of hit a plateau where I was just flat and not really doing the things I wanted. I feel like for this, I mean, that I loved that game. It was different. It was slow paced and fast paced at the same time, and there was like a lot of planning and it was just really fun. And I feel like it's kind of a good game. I know absolutely during this quarantine, KSP is going to be back on the menu. And then I have Age of Empires 2 Forgotten Empires. That was the absolute most recent expansion that I think came out in like 2008.
Didn't you play it?
No, I thought I did, but I haven't. I've played a bunch of other ones, but I guess I haven't played.
You got to get in and get this one.
And then finally Into the Breach. Didn't even know I owned that. It's the guys that made FTL that I checked. 160 hours, folks. 160 hours into FTL in the last like 4 months. That game is in.
I bet it hasn't been 4 months.
It's probably been like 2.
It feels like 4 months.
It feels like 4.
I don't know. I started playing this game back in 2012.
2019, 16 years ago. Way back in the 19. You remember, guys? You guys remember that decade?
The good old days.
The good old days. You remember how we thought 2019 was bad?
And we were like,
remember
okay,
how fucking naive we were?
Yeah, it's over. 2020 new
year.
Here
we go. 2020, the year of progress. And it's like, wow.
Yeah.
This went bad in ways I didn't even think it could go bad.
Global pandemic. Guys, are you guys serious right now?
Guys, I woke up because of an earthquake the other day.
Yes!
That was how I woke up on Wednesday. I woke up, my alarm clock was the earth.
Yep. My room turned
Welcome
to Jell-O.
To 2020.
I hated it.
Yeah, I was not a fan.
What are your guys'? How about you guys? What games are you getting into now?
So we got a PlayStation for Christmas. Yay. And I have done hardly anything with it because I also bought a bunch of Switch games. So I just finished Pokemon Sword. And guys, I'm not going to collect them all. Yeah, I beat the story. It was fun.
Why didn't you put it on the dock as like a review or anything?
We already talked about it.
All right.
And let's be honest. If you've played 2 hours of that game, you've played the whole game.
Yeah.
Like nothing changes.
So true.
The story itself is not particularly interesting, but the game is fun. And I don't know.
Pokemon game.
It just keeps you going, right? I don't think I'll probably jump back into it. I was trying to collect as many as I could, but now that I'm done, I don't really have the desire. And I've got other games to move on to, which is I got the PlayStation. So I have a whole bunch of games. JD lent me some. It came with some. But I think the first game I'm going to play, finally, is The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's next up. I've never played it. I know what the story is. I know all about it, but I've never played it.
That is such a perfect game for quarantine, dude.
It's not the type of game I think I would really find myself loving and getting into. The story seems awesome, but for me, like, even if the story's good, if the gameplay's not fun, I'll have a hard time with it. But this is great for a quarantine, right? I'm sitting there, I can just
single player story,
Mm-hmm.
and you can walk away. I mean, there's
it's
regular
about an outbreak.
Yeah. I think there's tons of saves and checkpoints and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it ends in Salt Lake.
Yeah,
so
there's
I
Salt
think you
Lake piece of
essentially walk across the whole country, but
Yeah.
it's I'm so jealous
so
of you.
The
I wish
Last
I
of
had
Us-
a game like that to play during this.
I have so many games I have to play.
Did
though.
you played Horizon already?
I haven't. I downloaded it. Haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
I have
Horizon's
that
another
one.
good one.
I've got The Last of Us. I've got what else do I have on the PlayStation?
God of War
I've
4?
got Control. I've already played God of
Okay,
War.
got it.
I actually borrowed JD's. I borrowed JD's PlayStation
and then
bought God of War and played it. Loved it.
So
Yeah.
good.
Same type of thing though. I was playing through it and I got kind of tired of the gameplay, and then I just put on easy mode so I could finish the story because I did like the story so much. So yeah,
Control. Please take your time with. Please don't rush through it. Just take your time and just enjoy it.
I was going to ask you, of all those games, which
Control.
You got to hear my question first.
All right.
Which one
Control.
is the? Okay, fine. Which one's the stupidest? JD said Control. What's your? No, I'm just kidding. No, which one is the safest to play with little kids watching?
Control, absolutely.
Yeah,
Control.
Control.
Control might give them some weird nightmares where they're like, I don't understand what that
world
nightmare
is,
was
like,
about.
The ceiling is like on the floor now, and
Stuff like
things are
that,
flying,
yeah,
but-
and like that human being turned into like a shape, but it is really minor.
Is Horizon Zero Dawn have any?
Horizon would be good too.
Horizon's
It's
good.
her versus robots for the
And
most part.
mostly
Yeah,
like
robot
the
dinosaurs.
games I'm not that
Robot
worried about.
dinosaurs,
It's the
Fucking
language
awesome.
that gets my kids, right? I can
No
never play a
language.
Ubisoft game around a kid because they just love the F word.
I was gonna say I don't even hear it anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't register with
probably Horizon wouldn't have swears.
I don't think Horizon.
Horizon has
does.
swears. I would go Horizon, and then
I'm not playing The Last
Control,
of Us with kids
and
around.
then Last of
No.
Us is
Put that at the bottom. That one's pretty
There's
deeply
some
upsetting
stuff
for kids.
that happens in Last of Us that is extremely upsetting.
No,
there
I'm gonna
is.
put the PlayStation in my office and just play on my. So I've got a big monitor and just play on my monitor for that one.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Danny, what are your backlog games?
So I'm actually picking up a lot more kind of weird little indie games right now.
Great time for it.
Yeah, because there was a Devolver Digital sale some time back that I shouldn't have bought as much as I did, but I did. It's that $2.99 thing. I just scooped them like toilet paper in the grocery store off of the shelf and shoved them in a basket. It's like, thanks, Devolver.
Friggin' Karen with the toilet paper aisle. That's what you did with Devolver
Danny
Digital
with the
sale.
indie games. So I just finished a game called Always Sometimes Monsters, which was a little pixel RPG. That one was interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, because as a story, there were parts of it that like felt really kind of nice progression. You pick a character and you are going on a cross-country trip to go basically run down an objective the aisle when your ex is getting married. So you're like in love with them and you want to get to them before they get married. So you have a month to get the money to get there and essentially stop
Break
the wedding.
up this wedding.
Yeah, and like tell this person you still love them. However, there's definitely a point where the decisions early on start to get really shady, and it'll sit there and be like, you're going to break into this doctor's house. Do you want to wreck his car, blackmail him, or destroy his house?
Wow.
Or all three. And I was like, can I say I don't want to do that?
Yeah.
And they were like,
is there another option?
They're like, that sounds like all three. And I was like, oh my God. But so I just finished this, and I'm basically going to play through that again to try and get better endings.
Did you win?
I don't know. Like, yes.
Yeah, did you break up the wedding?
I broke up the wedding, but like now my SO is like depressed and locked in the room.
It doesn't feel like a win?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. But the one I'm really excited about, I actually saw a little preview on Twitch, but it's a game called World of Horror. And it is a Japanese horror game, very like Cthulhu, like Eldritch horror, all in like 80s DOS style.
I like that.
It is awesome.
What's
so
that one
far.
called?
That sounds exactly
World of Horror.
That sounds exactly like Return of the Obra Dinn.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, the DOS style.
Yeah,
with
like it's
all
very
the spooky horror.
Yeah, so the whole thing, you can actually choose like different ways of like what your pixel art is going to look like.
Oh my gosh.
But it is straight up like Junji Ito style horror, Eldritch style. Like the old gods are coming back and you have to solve these like mysteries around town.
Okay, can I just tell you, the last two horror genres I want mixing together are Japanese horror and H.P. Lovecraft Eldritch horror.
Look, for some reason, Japanese horror, they just
freaks me out so bad.
They do it in a way where you're like, this is so much scarier.
Why is my heart skipping beats? That's not normal.
Yeah.
Wait, is my heart even going? When did it stop?
Or is that an earthquake? I can never tell anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just rolling right through them these days.
All right, and then do you guys have any games?
I have one.
What are your deepest,
my deep game,
darkest, most shameful backlog games?
I don't know if this, Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh.
Just kidding, not Leisure Suit Larry. But it is a Sierra. So I've told you how I love.
It's Leisure Suit Larry adjacent.
So
cool.
It's a Leisure Suit Larry mod.
It's in
a spin-off game.
It's in the LSL universe.
It's in the LSL universe. Equally as shady. No. So you know how I love like King's Quest and Space Quest and those games from way back in the day. The one that I never dove so deep into, and I own all of them, is the Quest for Glory, which is Heroes Quest games. And I own them, and I have them on Steam because the same type of thing. I was like, oh, these are on sale. I got to get them. And so I own them, and I've never really dove into them before, and I want to. I always see it, and I'm like, oh, I have it downloaded. I have very few things downloaded now because I went and deleted. This one made the cut because I can't.
This is sitting on your desktop right now.
Yes. So that's the one. Quest for Glory, all the games. I own them all, and I want to finally play them one day when the quarantine forces me to play them.
Yeah. It's going to force us to do a lot of shit.
A lot of things that we didn't
have
know we could do.
Not been
You
doing.
made me do things I didn't want to do.
Danny, what are the games in the back of your closet?
Oh boy. Okay. So
Dusty as hell.
So years ago, like probably close to like 2014, I played a tabletop RPG Shadowrun game with some friends. This is the kind of heated Shadowrun game, though. For anyone who's familiar with the Shadowrun tabletop system, it is extremely punishing. It is very like planned, like heist-based. If you get into a fight, you will probably get shot and die. Like it's very tough. But this was the kind of game that was super intense, as in people standing up at the table and yelling at each other because like things got
sick,
like really
tight.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
sounds great.
And so my DM from that game, he gave me all of the Harebrained Schemes Shadowrun video games.
I was going to say, wait, is your DM Dusty in your closet right now? Danny.
Yeah.
You guys play with me again.
Back in your cage.
That one time was so
is it
fun.
your DM? He's been sitting there since 2014 or something. I don't know. Is he still there? Is he alive?
Well, so he gave me all these games basically because I moved to LA for a bit and our game kind of petered off and we kind of hit a good stopping point with it. My character's hiding out in Russia with a lobotomy, like that kind of thing.
Yikes.
Yeah, and so I've had these games sitting in my Steam log for years, and I've just never touched them. I forgot what order they go in. I have to ask him again, but those are probably going to be what I hit next because
what are they called?
the Shadowrun.
Oh, they're just called
Shadowrun games. Yeah, there's Shadowrun. There's 3 of them: Shadowrun Hong Kong, Shadowrun Returns, and Shadowrun something with dragon in it.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I'll be definitely playing these just
the
because I
ones.
gotta.
Okay. I dig that.
Yeah.
Mine, I think, Peterson, you played this. You played Frostpunk, right?
Yeah.
That's on my list.
Ooh.
Dude.
I own it.
Don't do it.
Have you?
This game
Don't
is
do
so
it.
bleak.
I hear it's so sad.
Don't
It's the most perfect quarantine game.
It is a terrible quarantine.
Universe.
Okay, wait. I will make a rule right now. You are only allowed to play that game if you also are playing Animal Crossing
At the same time?
because it is
Yeah.
a bleak game. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The game is amazing. I loved it. Oh man, you just never feel good. You just feel cold the whole time. You just feel
Yeah.
like you're freezing.
It's like playing This War of Mine during a quarantine.
Yes.
Like you start thinking of the same ideas. You're like,
Yes.
the neighbors across the street have toilet paper. They've lived good lives.
I could eat
Like-
them. I could eat them.
She looks. Wait, are we back to that?
Yeah.
Are we eating things again?
It sounds cool. I'll eat
Grocery
anyway.
stores are empty.
I'll eat
Gotta be
anyway.
ready.
Okay, I didn't want to bust this out, but I made a top 10 list of my neighbors that I would eat.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Start with the ages. Like, tell me how you break that down by age. I want to know the most delicious age.
The meat that'd be kind of tough
number
if you got too old.
chubby 12-year-old.
I think that is probably the perfect age to eat.
Actually, we'll do like chubby 10 because 12 they're starting to go through
Chubby
puberty.
10 is like veal. It's like the veal of cannibalism.
Wait, how did we get back to this?
I don't know, but I'm so hungry. I'm going to go get Greek food.
You mean Greek food though, not Greek
I'm
people.
eating Greek
Not
people.
Greek. Haha.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Should we just go to dice?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Dice of destiny.
All right, tight. Do you have the D20 ready?
Yeah,
All right, Dice of
D20.
Destiny is our coolest thing ever. We have
wow.
assigned... It's a low bar with the 3 Big Gamer Show.
Just really took a pot shot at all the other segments.
Wow.
All right. It's the best thing on the 3
Dice-
Shit Gamers Show. Here we go.
Dice of Destiny is my personal favorite.
It's the only good thing we've ever
It's like
done in
saying-
3 years.
It's like picking a kid, JD.
Yeah, I'm picking which kid to eat, and it's going to be Dice of Destiny. It's delicious. Dice of Destiny, we take 20 different game genres, and we assign them to a D20, a 20-sided dice. We roll that dice to see what genre. We then roll a 6-sided dice to see how much you can spend. Then finally, we roll a dice to determine who has to find a game in that genre for that price, pick it, play it, and review it. And a couple weeks back, I rolled an adventure game. I believe this was our first adventure roll.
Yep.
And I picked Curse of the Dead Gods. Was this one of your recommendations?
Yeah.
All right, so I gotta say, this game was awesome. Curse of the Dead Gods reminded me, oddly enough, of Dead Cells.
Yeah. Which is a great game.
Isometric Dead Cells. So if you guys are familiar with most RTS games, Diablo, that isometric kind of sideways view where it's top down, but then you just angle it 45 degrees. So it's like Dead Cells in that, I gotta say, this game is incredibly difficult. Like, it's in the same, Dead Cells, and then you think about Slay the Spire, where it's like level to level to level, or FTL, which is like point to point to point. Same idea, but honest to God, I could not get past the first one.
Wow.
For like a while. Like the first level, I couldn't get through, and there's like 15 to get to the boss, and then once you beat the boss, like God knows what happens. I couldn't even get through the very first level itself because they were so punishing. So it is there you have a gun that has you aim it, and then you hold it until it reaches. You can shoot it at any time. You can just keep shooting it. But if you hold it, and it makes like a super powerful shot, so it encourages you to make much more tactical decisions in your shooting. And then you can obviously you have a sword that you can use, and then you have a torch, which you can't really see very well without the torch. And then you can obviously pick up new weapons, because although this is an adventure game, it's much closer to a roguelike. This is a game where if you die, you start back at the very beginning. However, you may have earned some currency, some items. You may have unlocked some abilities that you may then be able to use in your next run. So that's the loop, the gameplay loop that keeps you playing. It's very rewarding when you do well, in that if you can block, you can parry people, you can, dodge them at the last minute and shoot them in the back.
Is there a lot of enemies? Like,
it's not a bullet hell, but there are a decent amount of enemies. Yeah, it's definitely not a bullet hell. It's not a Diablo.
Swing your weapon and you'll hit 40 guys.
No, it's like a finite thing. Like, you show up on a level, and it's basically you have the whole level in front of you, and you could run all the way to the end, and then you could just like turn in a circle and like run around. But until you kill everyone, you can't get off the map. What's really awesome about this game, what I really loved that I haven't seen in a lot of roguelikes, is the environment kills. Tons of environment stuff. Wow. You get everyone chasing you, and then you run past like a bomb, and then you light it with your torch, and then try to position them just right that they all blow up. And what you find, like I said, it's so punishing, is that you really have to use those because it is so difficult. That's the number one complaint on Steam reviews. Is like, oh, it's too hard. It's too, it is. You're talking about difficulty spike, which is like when you're playing a game and all of a sudden it gets way harder out of nowhere. This game starts on a spike.
Way harder out of nowhere.
No tutorial, because I this is what I haven't mentioned. Is that it's in alpha now. So it's an alpha that you have to buy the game and then you can play. But they say, this is a really early build of the game. There's limited weapons. There's limited builds. There's limited maps. Everything's limited. There's kind of like a bunch of menus you can see in the menu that's like, coming soon, or like, we're working on this stuff, and you can suss out what they're going to add, so you're playing an incomplete game. But one of the things that's really missing that I would love them to work on is a tutorial guidance or any sort of help whatsoever. There aren't even YouTube videos like, this is how you should play.
This is what you should do.
You literally just start the game and
JD,
you start the game.
You got to make the video.
I know. I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
you would if you knew what it was.
I was like, I have to learn the game enough to actually make that video. So it is like, if you guys will know this, if you've ever played an alpha, like, this is a very alpha-y game. And if you're not into that type of like, I'm playing kind of an incomplete game and I'm having to help, build it from scratch. But I'll tell you, because Peterson and I have been playing Streets of Rogue for years, and watching that game changed so drastically since when we started playing it in alpha to where it is now, that it has actual releases and physical copy releases. It's really cool and it's really fun. But it's got all the classical downsides and not having a tutorial or knowing how to build, or like, that's the thing is, I'm like, you can accumulate a curse, like you make decisions that curse you. I still don't know how that affects me. I just do all the cursiest shit ever. Maybe that's why it's so hard, because I'm like, curse me. I don't care, bitch.
And you
curse
use
me.
your blood to do it, right?
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. It's just kind of wild. I don't know how to play it properly. I don't know how to or build my character properly, but that's fun. To me, that's kind of fun.
Sometimes
it feels like
kind of
playing a game proto-internet before all you had was like the Prima game guides at Barnes and Noble.
Like, the discovery is half of what makes it fun.
Yeah, so it has been fun. I can tell that it's going to be really great, and I think it's going to be a very big and notable addition to this pantheon of these Souls-like, rogue-like games that are like Dead Cells, where they're so fucking punishing.
Hard.
And that's the point, is you are being punished for daring to play this game. And it feels like that. And it's fun because that makes it so much more rewarding when you do actually get past. So I've gotten to the boss once, and Jenna was sitting there, I just laughed. I was like, I crawled into the boss with like 10 health out of like
You
200.
knew you weren't gonna
I was like,
make it.
this is going to be awesome, but I made it here. And so I made it once, and like it's really hard to get to the boss. But yeah, like I said, it's rewarding, and I think... So no, I wouldn't say that it's a buy now. Our rating scale for Dice of Destiny is buy at any price. That is buy just no matter what. Just go out and buy it right
play
now.
This game.
Wait for a sale and don't buy. I would put this as wait for a sale right now just because of, and I think I picked it up on sale. It's $15 right now. So for an alpha, yeah, that's cheap because it'll probably be a $30 title when they finally release it. But otherwise, yeah, I'd put it on your wish list and keep an eye on it.
This is one of those games where
This is a great quarantine game.
You could buy it and wait.
Yeah. That's a good idea too. If you guys see it on sale, definitely pick it up. And then if you every month you wait, it's gonna be better when you boot it up. But if you guys liked Dead Cells, if you like Dead Souls, is that what it's called?
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. If you guys like Dead Cells, if you like Dark Souls, if you like the game to just punish the shit out of you, this is a great game. So yeah, that's my Curse of the Dead Gods review, and we don't have any outro music. So
Well, we got to roll again.
Oh, we got to roll again.
I'm definitely interested in Curse of the Dead Gods.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's super fun, and the art style is like kind of cartoony. And the character, it's very cartoony, stylized. That's how I describe it.
I love stylized games. I'm biased because that's what I make.
I just always think they're unique enough that they always just look cool.
Yeah.
Right? The art draws you to it, whereas, a lot of AAA games, the game is the draw, right? Because they all kind of look the same. Every Ubisoft game kind of looks the same. They look amazing.
Yeah, they're very pretty, but something that we're taught very early on with realism-based games, so any game that uses photo scanning and facial scanning and just games that are all about realistic graphics, they age so bad.
That's true.
Because in 5 years, that thing is going to look like garbage because we just keep getting better versus stylized games. I was straight up impressed with Overwatch 2's demos because I was like, oh my God, they made it better? I thought it just looked pretty good.
Yep. No, and some of the games I played don't rely on that. Like, forget the graphics. Just make me a good game.
Yeah.
And no one cares. I am playing FTL.
Slay the Spire.
Like I said, Slay the Spire is a great example, but FTL is from 2012. And I find that game in 2019 and put 150 hours into it. I'm so obsessed. That's an 8-year-old game. I don't give a shit because it doesn't look any different than it did in 2012, right? Yeah. So
it's me with Journey.
Yeah.
Still,
Journey.
Yeah.
Oh, it still looks amazing.
It's gorgeous.
I played that on release and I thought it was amazing, but I don't know. That sand scene when you're surfing through the sand during the sunset. Ugh. All right. So
we do a
we are
reroll.
re-rolling now because I reviewed that. And Danny, do you want to play with us?
Sure.
Cool. All right. So we are rolling for genre now. What did I roll?
I can't tell. It's a 10. It was a 10.
Okay, a 10 is... Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody.
Oh, no.
Danny's out.
10 is a racing game.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, so
you
racing
can
is
find-
off the board.
Oh, gosh.
I know. Peterson's last racing game was not a great experiment.
It was my first Steam return.
Ever. And to date, the only one, right?
No, I did return Monster Prom because F that game.
Monster
Oh,
Problem.
but
Did
it's
you
so
play it?
Yeah, it's cute.
I lost. I sucked at it. I hated it so much.
You got rejected?
Oh, yeah.
Both times.
Look at Danny
Not
laughing
even
at you.
close.
Your stupid Virgin Peterson can't even get laid as a monster.
Well, no, I was telling these guys when I was playing it, the only monster that was ever interested in me was, I think, the vampire guy, who was my least favorite character.
Yeah,
he was all,
'cause he's a hipster.
emo and
Yeah.
and I was like, I hate this one. And he was always like kind of into me, and I was like, no, no.
You're shaking him off. You're like,
that was what the thing was in my Monkey Paw game.
Exactly.
It's the only guy that likes you is the vampire guy.
That I hate.
All right, so this is how much money you can spend on your racing game. $20.
Okay.
$20 or less on your
Okay.
racing game. All right, so I'll do 1, 2. Peterson is
3, 4.
And Danny is 5, 6.
Do you want the real die?
Yeah, why not?
2. JD's playing a racing game. It's all right. You can play Wreckfest now. Oh wait, it's more than $20. That game is fun.
maybe it'll be a Steam sale.
Oh my gosh,
Dude,
so
it's on my freaking wish list. I don't know why
It's
the
so
hell
fun.
they haven't added
They
it.
never put it on.
They
like,
never
a
put it
good
on
sale.
It's because they know they got something good.
I don't even know if they. Like, it is addicting though. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Wreckfest.
$20 racing game. Get ready for a return.
Dude, I don't wanna play a racing
You're doing
game.
it. You're doing it. Hey, I had to play that stupid MOBA.
I also
that
had to
does
play a
suck.
stupid MOBA. Can we just forget MOBAs?
Yeah, we took it off.
Period.
I
We did.
don't like playing MOBAs either.
Oh yeah, because Phil told us just get rid of it. And we're like, all right, Phil.
Done.
No, done.
Done.
It's gone.
I
Fucking
hated it.
Escape the Knocker. I found that when I was looking through my old Steam library, what are some old games? I saw that and I was like, fuck you. I hate you so bad. No, I won't return it because I like supporting indie devs, but fuck you. All right, guys, that does it for us this week. If you want to play Dice of Destiny with us, we have a Dice of Destiny game on our website at 3bitgamershow.com/dice, where you can click a button that just says, it's loading. What does it say? Oh, it doesn't say anything. It's just a pair of dice.
You just start going.
You click it, and it gives you a genre and a price. I just played it. It gives me the genre is dark, and the price is $10. You can take that to Steam. You can take that filter to Steam and then apply it and then search for games using the dark filter and look for all games under $10 and play along with us. We also have a Dice of Destiny channel in our 3-Bit Gamer Show Discord where you can come report your findings and what you've played. All right, so that does it for us this week. To play us out, we are listening to the Half-Life 2 theme that Danny apparently knew. I didn't know. Danny,
I'm just nodding wisely. That doesn't mean I knew it.
she
I'm
knew
just
it.
real good at bluffing.
Danny
good. I was
wrote
like, oh, what
this
is
song.
This? Pretty good.
Danny wrote it.
This was original composer Danny Powers.
No.
I'm JD, locking off.
This is Peterson going AFK.
And Danny, BRB.
I'm going to write some more dope music.
Cool song you wrote, Danny.
Danny, I love this song you made.
Peterson Productions. Oh yeah.